Alright guys, so it's 4 a.m. and I finally got her all wrapped up. Wasn't supposed to be this early or late in the day before it happened, but here we are. Go over it with you for a second. I want to show you what we did. Let me get my flashlight. Again, the shop is completely destroyed. But that kind of stuff happens. So you can see we ended up having to cut the back of the generator box out a pretty good amount in order to make it fit and still have breathing room for the back to keep the head cool. And we got the proper clearance from factory up front. The valve cover seems to be working great. I ran it for about 2 hours. It took me a solid hour to burp it with the way I set it all up. Takes a while to burp it that way, but boy, you never have to worry about overheating again. Then you can see I got all the wires zip tied and pulled away from anything hot on the exhaust, from the grounds to field return, to the main power in over into the truck. So that all turned out really simple, good, just simple stuff here. Little fab work. This turned out a little not exactly perfect, but when we first did it, we broke the sheet metal right here, and it ended up not being enough over. So we just hodgepodge, hogged some welds on it, rebent another piece up, and cut some more of the main aluminum out and got it to work. Works, it fits good, like I said. Now you got plenty of clearance front and rear. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I don't know if you can see the red dot, you can. But anyway, it works amazingly now. Thing fires right over, doesn't smoke when it first starts after cleaning that head out. Again, this is all put together now so you can see how I did this system and then how it ends up going over to the radiator, and then radiator sits there, the air blows upwards, and of course my compressor would kick on right now. I don't know if that's in the background. Let me shut it off real fast. And stuff I didn't get to show you guys earlier. Factory one. Well, if you remember right, it had that huge hole for the fan originally back here. And so what we did was just fab up a little plate real fast, put a tab on each end, and then we did some nut screws down bottom, and then put some rubber all the way around it so it didn't vibrate or make any noise. And then the radiator's still up there. That's how it all looks put together. You can see the bulkhead fittings we used when it comes through. And it's not a solid line. It's actually, two-piece, so it's fully protected in bulkheads, and man, it just works. Works really, really good. And you can look around the shop and see we've been using a regular welder to every tool, and I've put the whole shop away 3 times a day, I guess. And luckily I have big parts bins. That helps out a lot. Wire, sandblasting cabinet for the manifold and all that stuff I cleaned up. So it helps out having all these things. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. I know Jeff Jones at Powertech, probably one of the most helpful guys I've ever met. He's, sometimes he's hard to get a hold of, but if you have a problem, he's always going to walk you through it. He's a great guy. Really, the whole Powertech team is pretty good, but I have such an old unit. They have trouble even finding the serial number, or not finding it, but they're like, well, we have a different part nowadays. Well, we have a different part nowadays, and a different part nowadays. So I've started subbing most of my stuff out, just finding aftermarket parts that fit, from radiators to starters. Originally this starter came with a Wilson, and then you call them to get a starter, and I want to say it was like $600 or $500 for a starter when O'Reilly sells Wilson starters. They just had to wait a day on it, At the time I didn't know that until I pulled the starter off and it said Wilson. And they can pull the part number off of it and just order it. And they're $89.
So you got to be careful what you buy from Powertech. Do your research. But other than that, you couldn't ask for a better tech support place. Fast shipping. They always have everything in stock, especially the hard to find things. Again, couldn't say enough about Jeff other than the problem of this. This was a big problem, trying to fit that head in there. I felt like somebody should have known that prior to this happening, but here we are. Can't know it all, but he was good. I sent him some videos of what my plans were. He replied back, said, "Go with it, man. Sounds like a great idea. Otherwise, you're going to have to buy a new box." And that was silly. I'm not going to buy a whole new box when I can just use a brake and bend up some aluminum and do a little bit of TIG welding. So, again, any questions, comments, concerns, just hit me up. I'll try to answer anything you got and help you out. Appreciate you guys.